Okay, so for those of you who don't know, they just canceled development for console. Like all development, not just Odyssey, but all development for console. In this forum post by David Braden, they talk about it. I'm not going to go and read all of that to you as it's a bunch of corpo bullshit. They don't give a shit about you. They're not disheartened by this fact at all. They're not sad by it. It is not with heavy heart. It's been a long time coming. I called it a long time ago. I called it 3 months ago. They've left several spicy little posts. FDev themselves, the development teams themselves have left several little spicy posts about how it shouldn't be on console in several different ways, trying to covertly undermine the console community, while at the same time saying they support them on YouTube channels, while mocking the actual people who have valid concerns or ideas. Maybe they're not valid, but at the very same time, you didn't have to mock them for it. But yeah, they had to apologize to the console community. They took that hard hit to their ego, which sadly is incredibly inflated. And then they decide to post this. I've watched a ton of major YouTubers' takes on the commentary is extremely disheartening. Fuck you. You decided to fucking tell console users that you don't give a shit about them no more. This is the ugliest breakup that a company has made with a fan base for a long time. I haven't seen this type of a literal attack on its own fan base in quite some time, actually. But they're disheartened. They're disheartened. It's not okay to be upset about being lied to. It's not okay to be upset as a console user about being misled. This is the general principle behind everything that Frontier has ever done, is they are cream of the crop. They think they literally live on a mountain of gold, and that everyone else underneath, including you PC users who are mocking people left and right in the console community, you mean nothing to them. If you think any of this isn't going to leak down to you, you're insane. There's so many PC owners that are not putting their shit on PC. They're not transferring. If you don't think this is going to leak to you, you are extremely, extremely, extremely simpish. And I called this 3 months ago, guys. I did. But anyway, let's read this. The commentary is extremely disheartening. I've watched a ton of major YouTubers' takes on the newest update of the console being shelved. For the most part, I think content creators were pushing that FTF transfer accounts to PC. I pray this happens in its entirety. It's not going to, by the way. It's not. It's just, more appeasal, more attempt to cool people down. Maybe this can happen. Give you hopes and dreams so they can fucking throw them in a paper bag and set them on fire, just like they did with the Odyssey. Unfortunately, amongst content creators, the comment sections of their videos, there seems to be quite a lot of negative view on console players, almost as if we held you back from quicker updates or story progression. Keep in mind, this is literally coming from a dev. This is coming from a dev, quite literally. As if we held you back from quicker updates or story progression. We. I wish I could zoom in on this. God, I wish I could highlight this paragraph. It starts with, unfortunately, amongst the content creators. It almost as if we have held you back. This is the little things. It's the little things you have to pay attention to when you're looking at FDev and how they post in their own Reddit. Modern generation consoles have the power and capacity to run Odyssey. And as a company, it is two systems. You have to tweak it for. But not 500 plus variations of PC configurations. I find it quite hard to believe that FDev do not have the manpower and funding to truly believe that the huge believe that the huge disappointment of Odyssey's release, compounded by the pressure of stakeholders to fix the game, has created a situation where all employees are focused on fixing release rather than the port. Okay, this is them basically getting mad at console players for being stonewalled. This is all this is. That is so sad. Look, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck, dude. You mocked them on your live streams, okay? You mocked them on your live streams. You guys need to be sued. You are so you don't realize the miracle that you guys are experiencing just by them not going into a class action lawsuit against you for false and or misleading advertising for the last 8 months, period. You have no idea. Count your fucking blessings. You even have a user base, you whiny fucking bitches. I'm sorry, but this type of shit from corporates, it fucking infuriates me. Make no mistake, I've already pointed out where you find this is corporate. You find it right here. Okay? I find it quite hard to believe that FDev do not have the manpower. My point at the end of the day is, I hope they port our commanders and inventory on request. On request. Meaning he has power to make one, I'm guessing. Yeah, just all kinds of little hints. All kinds of little hints. Now, whenever they use the word disheartened by something, it usually means they're about to ban all that negative feedback. That is how they work with this degenerative loop that they try to do. They try to wall themselves in to yes men. That's what they do. I hope they port our commander's inventory upon request. I agree, last generation consoles have no chance. I agree, they don't. But here's the fucked up thing. They started development for this on last generation consoles. They should have never done that to begin with. Especially when they tried to promise PS4, PS5, and Xbox the content. They should have never came out of the gate doing that. That was a lie, a misleading lie. And they sold a lot of games because of Odyssey. If they do not experience a class action lawsuit, expect this to happen over and over and over and over again. Not just with this game, but every game after it. They are going to continually lie to you. Put your money where your mouth is, people. Someone needs to get this. They need to get these people. They need to fucking get them. They need to get them hard. They need to fucking let them know. Okay, that everyone can impartially look at FDev as a whole. No, we're not. No, fuck you. Fuck FDev. Fuck the idea that you can go around literally trampling your fucking user base. Trampling your user base. Keep in mind, one guy on my Twitter feed said it best. One guy on my Twitter feed said it best. One guy on my Twitter feed said it best. He said it with the best possible. Let's see if I can find it. Oh yeah, this guy said it best when he said, I got blocked on their official Twitter handle, by the way. I literally did. I got blocked on their official Twitter handle. And, yeah. So this guy literally said in one of his tweets exactly what they had done to the console community. And I'm pretty sure they probably blocked him for it as well. If they haven't, I'd be surprised. Because they're really about that echo chamber shit. Like, that's like hardcore it's parkour for the course. And with that, they're gonna lose. They're gonna lose billions of dollars. I hope the console community just grows a pair and sues you guys. Well over 3 months, people called you out on it. You mocked them. You blocked them. You poked fun at them in the subreddit. You disrespected them on live streams. Now keep in mind, if you go to my YouTube channel, I go to my history. I can show you just exactly what I mean by that. Boom. Now,
know any of them? I've never spoken to any of them. Look that way, but I haven't. I'm actually working on the money-making video now as we speak, but I also had to buy another version of the game to get them on stream in front of, I think it was about 1,500 people. And it then happened lately. I can't be the only one who's noticed this. Firstly, I'd like to address the community managers and just how unprofessional I find them. I will say, I have nothing against these people personally. I am sure they're all lovely. I don't know any of them. I've never spoken to any of them. Other than a few words with Arthur at one point on Twitter, and it wasn't even about Elite Dangerous. I think it was about beer, which I miss beer. Anyway, a few weeks ago, in Super Cruise News, I saw one of the worst shows of professionalism that I think I've seen from a publicly traded company.
By the way, shout out to Just Dave GG for this, because honestly, if he hadn't come out with this, I wouldn't have everything I need.
And just so they could push update the first part out as quickly as possible, as in not let delay it for a week, and do it as a 2-part update. Bruce then decides to name this player and tries to shame them and embarrass them on stream in front of, I think it was about 1,500 people. And he and Zach have a little snigger at that person's expense. Here's the clip.
Kelly Blue Book Instant Cash Offer is the quick, easy process you can trust.
Hey, ads. Give me a second.
It's going to get boring very quickly for people after that first 10, 15 times. If you're
here's the funny thing is, like,
to get through your ship to get off a planet.
We discussed, everything done with
things I've had to deal with before, like low FPS on planets. Yes, I still drop to 35 frames per second when looking at some employee. Now, this is only one example of how they speak to us and how they address us, but there's more to address here. And this isn't going to be a bitchy sort of video, not in the slightest. But Arthur, you're not entirely off the hook here either, my friend. But not for being unprofessional, not at all. Actually, as far as I'm concerned, you're very professional from what I've seen of you. But you have said countless times, judge us at the end of June. So here we are, 1 week into July, and I'm ready.
So,
here's the clip.
Hey, Mo Kieran says, just have an update 6 and break the sprint into 2. Thanks for the project management advice. If there is an opening, we'll let you know. But in the meantime, just update 5.
No one remembers this. No one chooses to remember this. This is how the console. This is the general mentality the console community has had to deal with for like quite some time. And sorry, it took me a while to get there. It's a long video, and they don't give us much to work with in terms of screenshots. But yeah. This is the general mentality that they've had towards the gaming community. They snicker at us, they've mocked us, they've treated us as if we're less than all the time. Just outright abusive to their own fucking community. And it's at the point where it's just like, enough's enough. But yet, they think they have the ability or right to feel disheartened at the fact that people would be upset that they clearly just decided to come out and say it? No, Frontier. No, FDev. You don't have the right to feel disheartened. Fuck your disheartenment. You just shafted about 45,000 creators. 45,000 people who otherwise would not even fucking play your game. You just shafted an entire community base. You think that people aren't going to be upset with you? What the fuck did you expect? What the fuck did you expect? That's what I'll never understand about them. Is they don't quite get it. They've never quite got it. What the fuck did you expect, Frontier? That's why the whole post is just, it's laughable to me, man. Their entire subreddit is laughable. They like to play the victim after fucking someone over. It's like, dude, get away from us with that fucking self-righteous bullshit. Like I said, I tried to champion for the console community and they blocked me for it. That shows you how much love and contentment, how heartfelt this was. This wasn't heartfelt for them at all. Anyone who's on console and still playing, you should know you're going to have to deal with this. This is what you're going to expect. Any investors coming into the company, this is how they treat their user bases. And PC users, this is going to trickle down. There is a trickle-down effect here, and you're not going to see it because you're too simpish. So you're too based and you're too simp. So, oh well. Anyway, that's it for my rant. I'm not going to do any more. Like I said, I'm sorry it took me so long to do this, but yeah, peace.